In this video, we're going to continue on where we left off with the previous one, where I mentioned when we drop the item, I wanted to take in the rotation of the client, so that way it stays in sync between one client when they drop it to all the other clients. So what we're going to do is make drop item take in a rotator, so F rotator, new rotation. Let's add that to the header, wherever that may be, right here. And we have to fix where we call it. So if held item, when we go to interact, we want to drop it. So we can do held item get active rotation, like so. Then drop item, we detach, we set held item, set actor rotation, and we want to pass in the new rotation. So now we have the server drop. So when the server does it, we want the server to take in AF rotator as well. So F rotator, probably just copy and paste it. Yep, we want to take in the new rotation. There we go. And then for drop item, we just pass in new rotation. Now we have server drop. So this will be when we run it on the client. I'll explain once we get it done. So we want to do held item get actor rotation, and then we should be good to go. I'm going to restart the project and give it a try. Alrighty, now let's see what happens. We're going to pick it up with the server, or with the client, I mean. And I want to rotate it where it's pointed up at an angle like so. So I'm going to release it. And as you can see, it's snapped on the server. Can I not pick it back up? So is this a little bug we have, or what? Pick it up, can rotate it, and now I press F, watch the right screen, it snaps to it. Okay, so now I can pick it up again. So that's kind of odd. But on the plus side, it is getting the correct rotation. And the same thing goes, it will translate to all the other clients as well. So again, play as client with 2. So now we are both clients. Pick it up. Rotate it, press F. We actually do have an issue. So it's like it didn't translate back to other clients, just the server. So even though the server would be setting it, that actually has me curious. So I'm going to move it with this guy. Get to the corner, press F. So the server, everyone else sees it, but the last client. So set active rotation should be networked. However, it is not in this case. So what I'm going to do is let's open up our blueprint, or let's open up our item blueprint. Find our replication, replicates. Replicate movement is not checked. That shouldn't really matter. I believe there was something for rotation. Something regarding replication for rotation. Let's see. Really doubt it, but I wonder if it is replicate movement. Rotate, drop. Okay, so it's replicate movement. So that explains it. So one thing we're going to want to add then is B replicate movement equals true. We're going to put that in the constructor of the item.cpp. When I spell that wrong? Oh, you're locked. Why are you locked? Okay, let's see. That replicate did movement. pass in true. Unless this is something that it wants to be set and begin play. So if we have authority, we will set the replication to replicate the movement like so. I don't get why it's not, I don't know. Let me save it and we're going to relaunch and just check. All right, relaunch the item blueprint, replicate movement, set that back to normal and see what happens because we're setting it and begin play now. Rotate it, drop it, and it replicates. Okay, so that's fine. I want to quickly look up and see what the reason is as to why B replicates movement. Is set to private, so I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I didn't find really much information on it. However, I went ahead and moved, I can delete that now, set replicate movement to true inside the constructor, which is, calling a function is kind of odd to me in the constructor, but, you know. Anyways, compiled, and now replicate movement is checked by default, and we have the same result where our movement of our held item, when we rotate it, is correct and being synced along all the clients. So we know that that is now good to go. And we have our inspecting of items. So we have that. We can pick up. We need to make a limit so we cannot go behind ourselves like we can right here, obviously. But we can rotate the object so any text we have on it, we can actually go through and see. So that is good. That'll allow us to do things like where we have the key, for example, inside this drawer where we have a linked stored item. What we can do is make it so it when we pick it up, we can have little things like text with numbers on it. For example, like a piece of paper with numbers on it. And that could be what would be used to drive a combination lock on something else, for example. So anyways, just kind of spitballing thoughts among this, but yeah, not really much else to it. If you like what I'm doing and you want to help support me, you can find a link to my Patreon down in the description below, where we have a team deathmatch series just for Patrons using Unreal Engine with C++, as well as a bunch of other cool features like weapon customization and Call of Duty like respawns. And same thing goes, you get early access to videos such as this one and my VR tutorial series. If you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to join my Discord that's linked down below, and I'll try to help you out. I'll see you in the next video.